Exactly. You know, he tell me this morning, oh, go do this. You probably go up to the track over here. Good. Lifestyle choice, man. No, do not tell him, because if you do that, you do this. You be taking both sides by yourself. Because guess what? I will be standing on the road just like that.
How many more you need?
How many?
Just give me a couple more for anybody else who comes down.
We have one.
Oh, it's two right there.
You said you need endurance?
Yes.
Thank you, bud.
What's your name again?
All right, let's go to work.
Yeah.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Michael Mickey Williams Jr. I'm born and raised in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Since the age of 16 to the age of 38, I struggled with all types of drug addiction. My main addiction was crack cocaine and heroin. Since those times, I spent multiple years in and out of prison, off and on drugs. So August 2009, I found myself in Bristol, New Jersey. I was sitting on a park bench. No, not a park bench. I was sitting at a bus stop, and I had completely given up on life. I was suicidal. Everybody had rightly given up on me. I sat there. I didn't know what to do, but I did wanted to actually end my life. That was August 2009. My wife had a restraining order on me. I don't know what's wrong with her. But anyway, she had a restraining order on me because I was robbing her. I literally snatched my own wife's pocketbook to get money out of it. And it was over. It was just completely over. That was August 2009. But since that day, everybody say since that day.
Since that day.
Say since that day. Listen to me, I'm gonna stop, pull over, pause, and park right here for a moment. I'm not gonna allow you, because of the seriousness of the things that you're facing, to just casually sit in here and listen to me without participating. And what I mean by that is because when you're going to go get heroin or crack or pills, no one is like this to the dealer.
That's right.
So I ain't gonna allow you to do it to me. I'm trying to save your life. You wasn't quiet when you went to cop. They would have probably shot you. So everybody say since that day, I'm a 10-time published author. Everybody say since that day, I'm a substance abuse counselor. Everybody say since that day, I have my own business. Everybody say since that day, I got my baby back. I got my baby back. And the only reason I'm telling y'all that story, I came up with a program that I run. Before I get into the lesson, I'm going to have my wife share some things, how her side. I'm going to let her discuss her side and what she was going through during that time before we get into the lesson.
So, hi everybody. I'm Mel Williams. He already told you. He snatched my pocketbook. He stole my rings, cameras, anything that wasn't nailed down. Actually, I lived in the house. We had nails in the windows about this long. My uncles came and nailed the windows shut so he couldn't get in and get the stuff. So it was pretty bad. I did 11 rehabs with him. Then the 11th one, he left me. It's funny how I can laugh at that now. But what I want to share with you is that when you're going through these things, like when my husband went through those things, and I was there, when he would come in a place like this, he cared about everything that I was going through, because he had it together, right? But I couldn't discuss what he had done because it went against his recovery. Then when he would come home, he'd get back out there in that street, he didn't care about nothing that I was going through. And I still didn't have anybody to talk to because people was like, why you with that joke anyway? You ain't learned your lesson the last time. So I'm saying that because what you do affects somebody that loves you. So even if you're not loving yourself, somebody loves you and what you're doing affects them. So this program is not like any other program that you ever sat in. If you know all the answers, this program is for you. If you don't feel like being here, this program is for you. If you think you knew my husband back then in the street and he ain't nobody because he did the same thing you did, this program's for you. If you don't know, if you want to give it up, this program's for you. If you're ready to give it up, this program's for you. This program is for you. This program was even for me, and I never did drugs. But what I am going to tell you, the program is for you because you have to do the work. And this is not somebody that studied it in a book. This is somebody who sat in the same seats that you sit in, experienced some of the same thoughts, mannerisms, behaviors, experiences that you guys are going through or have been through or will be through. So who better not to be able to talk to you and keep it real? Because they can relate. All right? So I implore for you to pull out of him. Ask questions. Listen. Soak in. Okay?
Okay.
All right, first page. Okay, the program that I was telling y'all about that I created my own business is called the Minor Adjustments Program. The Minor Adjustments Program is an 8-week course. Every week I come into different institutions and I teach you different particular subjects, different topics, and I'm coming from a perspective of me doing the same thing you did. And the purpose of the Minor Adjustment Program, everybody say anywhere, but backwards. Say anywhere, but backwards. So listen, look at the mission statement on the first page. Everybody see the Minor Adjustment Program mission statement? It says minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men and women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary for their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere, but backwards. Say anywhere, but backwards. The two words in that mission statement are two powerful words and they're very big. Everybody call them out. What are they?
Obtain and maintain.
Everybody say to attain my sobriety is easy. My challenge is to maintain. Say to attain my sobriety is easy. My challenge is to maintain. The reason why I say that to you guys, because if you are like me, we have got off drug multiple times. And I discovered that I was easy to get off of drugs. I could just go to rehab. If I got locked up, I got off automatically. No matter what way I got off drugs, I realized that getting off of drugs was not Michael's problem. Michael's problem was what? Everybody say to attain my sobriety is easy. My challenge is to maintain. If you look on that other page, the next page, to obtain something means to come into the possession of something. But to maintain something means to keep it in existence. Listen to me, y'all. In August 2009, I received my sobriety. This August, I celebrated 12 years. I haven't done anything. But this is what I want y'all to understand. When I got my sobriety in August 2009, I did not have to go get my sobriety in August 2010. I simply had to maintain the sobriety that I obtained. Everybody say to attain my sobriety is the easy part.
To obtain my sobriety is the easy part.
My challenge is to maintain it. And the reason why you need to maintain it, you need to learn the necessary relapse prevention skills. You need to change your thinking. You need to listen to your counselors. You need to get away from all the people who just want to jail and coast through these programs. You need to change all of that. Because if you're going to maintain it, if you're going to be successful, you're going to have to make some minor adjustments. Every last one of us. I have been clean for 12 years. I still make changes because my focus is to maintain it. I always tell people, I don't want to come down. And when they say, what do you mean? I said, this high I'm on, I don't want to lose this one. And the only way I'll lose it if I use. Everybody say, I don't want to come down. Come on, man. Get yourself a round of applause, man. Let's go. Let's look at the first lesson today. Each week, we look at always visualize vertically. Everybody see that? Yes. Part 1. Always visualize vertically. This is, I'm skipping a part, obviously. Prayerfully, I'll be able to do the whole 8-week course with you. But what we do is each week we have a lesson and I have an expectation for each group. For this particular group, my expectation will be everyone will learn what they need to learn while you're in your development stage. My expectation is everyone will learn what you need to learn while you're in your development stage. If you have a pen and I'm talking, and while I'm talking, something comes to your mind, that's something for you. You should jot that down. I don't know. I'm telling you, if something comes to your mind while I'm speaking, you better have a pen or you better remember it because it's something that's going to save your life later. Everybody say anywhere. Anywhere. But backwards. Everybody see where I'm at? Everybody know where I'm at, right? Yes. It says always live off your vision, never live off of your sight. Your sight showed you what's now, but your vision showed you what's to come. Unbelief in ourselves is so prevalent that I do not wish to say anything that might be interpreted as excusing it. But for all our being so slow to believe in ourselves, I still think that sometimes we blame ourselves for unbelief when our trouble is nothing more than our inability to visualize. If you have a willing mind and are truly ready to make some minor adjustments in your life, you will have to learn how to always visualize vertically. Everybody say always visualize vertically. The reason why I say you must always visualize vertically is because you must have a vision. You must have a vision for your life first. You must have a vision for your children. You must have a vision for your family. You must have a vision, period. If you don't have a vision, when I was in, this is the craziest thing that I did not understand. The last time I was in a rehabilitation center, I was actually in there writing up the curriculum for the program that I wanted to run. I was in the rehab, but my vision told me when I get out, I'm going to create my own business and then help other individuals. I had the vision while I was in the rehab. That's why you have to have a vision. And not only that, it didn't stop there. I had a vision for my family. You can ask my wife, she's right here. I have a book with my vision in it. I copied the book and gave my wife a part of the book. She has the copy of the same vision because I'm a vision purpose. You have to have a vision for your life. You have to see yourself doing something different from what you did all of this time. And the only way you're going to be able to pull it off is you're going to have a seed, a vision. If you have a vision, you can make it come to fruition. Remember I said everyone will learn what they need to learn while you're in your development stage. Listen, most people believe that the caterpillar goes from being a caterpillar, going to cocoon, and he becomes the adult butterfly. But actually, when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, the caterpillar actually changes his name. It's the insect called the pupa. It's called P-U-Pa. PA. You can Google it. When the caterpillar goes in the cocoon, it changes the name and it's called the pupa. Listen to me. The pupa is the insect that's in the stage of development. Why is that important? Because before the pupa becomes the adult butterfly, it has to go through some development. This institution that you are in is the place where you need to develop. In order for you to grow up to that adult butterfly, you have to learn what you need to learn while you're in your development stage. That's why you can't just coast in here. Because if you leave out of here, don't change anything. When you get across that gun line, boss, that thing that wants to kill you is going to come. So you have to learn what you need to learn while you're in your development stage. This is the thing that you must get. He might need to develop in one area that's different from you. So if he's getting something and he's changing and you don't work on what you need to work on, I'm telling you, the cycle is going to continue. Everybody say, this is my development stage.
This is my development stage.
This is the place where you make the changes. You can't wait till you leave. And I'm telling you something that I kept coming back and back to rehab over and over and over and over. Hey, I ain't go that way. It was a lot. But I realized that one of my mentors, he used to be very tough with me. He didn't let me slide. He was my counselor. He said, Mike, every time I see him, I was flashy in the program. I had the nice clothes. I was looking good. He said, man, you a dressed up trash can. I said, man, you're a clinical counselor. You can't talk to me like that. He said, man, you ain't work on nothing. You just going home to get high to show your friends how good you look. And every time I would go back to Atlantic City, I would show my friends how well I'm doing. And sure if I would, before I got them help, you know what they did, right?
Got you right.
This is proven. My mentor taught me this. He says, if you put a man on a stage, no matter his size, and put a man on the floor, and you tell each person to see who can pull them where they are. The man on stage pull a guy up, or the man down pull a guy off the stage. He says, just by gravity alone, the person down here will be able to pull. So I realized that, and I said, man, they said now, hey man, we never see you in Atlantic City. I said, y'all got to come to Cumberland to see me, man. That's by design, because I learned what I needed to learn while I was in the program. That's the same thing that you got to do. This is your development stage. The counselor that you think he don't know what you're talking about, yeah, that's the person that's going to help you. Yeah, the rules they have in here that you want to keep breaking, yeah, I got that. Listen, the rules they have in the institution, let me tell you, I'm giving y'all everything I learned. Watch this. I was in a program. The program had what I call a stupid rule. I said, man, this is the stupidest rule ever. So they said, Mike, you keep breaking this rule. I said, man, this rule's stupid. It don't even make no sense, right? I kept breaking it. I get written up, broke it again, written up, broke it again. So finally, the director and them bring me in the office. They stay in there at the meeting and they laugh. And they said, we got to tell them how. They said, tell me what. They said, we know the rule is stupid. But you can't follow. And they said, Michael, the number one rule in addiction is don't pick up. And you keep relapsing because you keep breaking. Oh, man. So the rules you think is stupid in here, if you can't obey it, I guarantee you, when you leave, you're going to break that stupid rule. When they told me that, I said, man, you counselors is good. Because it made sense to me. But you know what? I haven't picked up since. It's because you have to develop what you need to learn while you're in your development stage. Let's move. The word visualize. It says to form a mental picture. Y'all see where I'm at? Yeah. An image of something incapable of being viewed, not at the moment visible. Question: who do you visualize about? When you're in here, you have a vision. You have something on your mind. Who do you visualize about? What vision do you have? Do you see yourself going higher? Do you see yourself having to go through this? It's going to be a process. I'm not lying. When I came home, I knew that I couldn't go to a certain area. I was honest. The place where my wife was currently living, I still had stems and cracks in the basement. And so everybody say tell on it. Tell on it. Say tell on it. Tell on it. When you have those thoughts, this is the thing that we do. We keep it to ourselves. But I've grown. I thought it made me weak. Keep running to a woman and telling her, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about this. But I grew. So I started telling on it. I said, I can't go back to that house. Because when I'm in that house, I can see the dealer's house from where I'm at. And I got the drugs in the house. So she said, you want me, mind you, my wife had her house before I met her. She said, so you want me to move out my house? Because you get out. I said, yeah, babe. If you really with me and I want to make it, we have to move. My wife rented a U-Haul. We got my friends. We moved out the house in one day. Whoa. We packed it all up. We didn't even know where we was going. We went to her uncle's house, put stuff in storage. I got my real friends, said, listen, we need to move. That's because I was so dedicated to succeeding. That's how you got to get. You're the number one focus. I don't come to places like this just to come. I come here to later on in life when I see you, they say, yo, I remember you had came and spoke, man. I never been using no more. I never did this no more. That's what I want to hear. I tell my friends all the time, one right here, grew up with him, childhood friend, love him. I would turn my back and trust him. That's how close I am to him. But I always tell those individuals that I grew up, we can have more fun if you come on this side. Because I can't go on that side and have fun. So I need them to come with me and we can clean fun. Everybody say clean fun. Clean fun. When our dominant desires are bad, our whole life, this is not in your book. When our dominant desires are bad, our whole life is bad. Let me give you a prime example of what Mind Adjustments is about. We take people through our program. We take them through the program, and prayerfully, somebody has the desire to want to help other individuals. And then we set up the program, the 8-week program in your county or where you're from, wherever, and you run a group in your town. And now you know all the people in the town that you can come help. And now instead of you destroying your town, you're building it up. Yeah. So it ain't about us. It's about stirring you up to want to help other people. You say, yo, I want to do that. All right, because everybody in your town know you. As soon as you get high, they all talk. So this is back on there. Yeah. But this is the power of influence. All those people know you. It's the same people who you can all help. Because they all know you. So you can help those individuals. Any questions out there? Y'all can just ask anything. Let's move. Next page, where did you form that image from? Where did you form the image from? What does your sight show you? There's a word, it's called comorbidity. And comorbidity, because you can have a vision and you can have a sight. The word comorbidity is actually a medical term. It's like two sicknesses happen at the same time or one behind another. This is the same thing that you have. Even though your present situation is what your present situation is, you can have a vision for where you're trying to go. You can literally sit here and have a vision. I remember a guy who was on TV and he was outside in his yard and his wife kept calling him. He said, hey, Mike. His name really is Mike. He's like, hey, Mike, what you outside doing? And he said, I'm tricking my soul. And she said, tricking your soul? He said, yeah, my soul is actually in my house in the Bahamas. Check this out. He now owns a house in the Bahamas. And his wife was like, I remember him saying he was out back in his yard and he was laying up and he had a vision of himself in the Bahamas. Why am I telling you that? You see your current situation now. That's your current situation. It's real. I'm not telling you I wasn't in the rehab. I'm not telling you I ain't struggled with heroin and crack. It was real. But I see myself doing something different. Everybody say always. Always. Visualize. Vertically. I would rob my wife to get money for crack, and I would take the money out of the crack, and we tussling over the money. Man, give me this money, man. And I would tell her, go get the crack, smoke crack in the basement, come upstairs and walk in and say, I won't always be on crack. And she used to be like, what? This guy is high. And I would go do some more heroin and come back and say, I won't always be on heroin. And she would look at me like, I wish you hurry up, because she believed that if I kept saying it, I would tell her I won't always be like that. And even to the people in here, listen, you might have people who gave up on you, and it's okay. A lot of people gave up on me. And my wife used to tell her, man, give up on her. She says, no. And one day I recorded her in the car, and I was looking at an old picture of me, a video of me, and I was crying. I was in the car crying, and I asked her, how did you stay with me looking like that? And she says, I did it for love. I knew who you could be, not who you were. And she didn't even know I was recording. I didn't think she was gonna say that deep stuff. I was just playing. But you never know. She said I did it for love. But the reason why we're here today is to let y'all all know that y'all all can change your life. Everybody. Let's move. Do you believe in yourself? You see at the bottom? Everybody see at the bottom? Listen to me. One of the things that a lot of people don't want to admit is one of the things that you have to get into your head, or the hardest thing I had to get into my head that I can never use again. Because I would think, it's no way, I've been doing it since I was 16, I gotta do something. You mean like never, like wake up and never do anything? And I'm like, that's not even, that's stupid. I know I can't do it. Everybody don't understand. This is a story. It was about a man. He would come home from work. He would get off work and he would go in the house, grab his newspaper. His son would be outside the basketball court. And the son would be out there with the basketball running up trying to dunk the court. Every day he come home from work, his little son out there trying to dunk. Boom. Get back up trying to dunk. Boom, he can't get it. One day his dad come home. Son, what's going on? He out there, boom. He come in the house, dad sit down, watch TV after a hard day's work. His son running there. Dad, come outside. I got it. Nah, kids is determined. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go. He said, come outside, Dad, I got it. Dad said, man, you was about 10 feet off from the court when I was raising him. Ain't no way you did it. He said, Dad, come out, I got it. So he goes out there, sure enough, kid back up, ran up there. He did it, nice. Boom! And he dunked it, right? So his dad went over to the court and raised it back up to the original standard. And he taught his son this lesson. He said, son, don't try to lower the standard and call it success. Instead, leave the standard high and you live up to the standard. The reason why I'm telling y'all that is because most of the time, we want to lower the standard. This is lowering the standard. My addiction or my thing that I struggled with was heroin and crack. I'll try to lower the standard and say, well, since marijuana and alcohol wasn't really my thing, I'm going to do that. That's called lowering the standard. Instead of raising the standard or leaving the standard high and admit that I can't do it all. I can't do none of it because something is going to trigger me to go back to the thing that I actually like. I'm telling y'all all that because if you're thinking, well, I'm never going to do this no more, but I'm going to do this, it ain't going to work. You mind this? It's not going to work. Even though you're thinking, nah, they might have did it wrong. It's not going to work. Don't try to lower the standard. The kid lowered the standard, dunked the basketball, and said, I did it. No, you didn't. But if you have to take some type of a different route than other individuals, I understand that. Because you need to get yourself to the level like me. I always talk about different pathways of recovery. You got a pathway, I got a pathway, you got a pathway, and sometimes you can combine them. Prime example, when I couldn't really kick the heroin, I got on a Suboxone. My wife got me on a Suboxone program. I got on a Suboxone program because I couldn't stop the heroin. When I got to the level where as though I never had the craving no more, I got away with this. I said, okay, I got it from here. So I said, now I don't need it. And then I moved into another level where I was building up my relationship in the NA. I was doing the NA thing real hard. I was in it. I was pounding it. Then I got to a place where I felt like the NA wasn't carrying me enough. So I built my spiritual foundation. You see how I combined, I did everything I needed to do, whatever I needed to do to succeed.
The same way you go out there and do whatever you need to do to get it.
It's the exact same thing. We tenacious. I told my wife the other day, we was in Atlantic City. And they was having that big concert. You know, they was having that big, whatever. What is it? Fish. Yeah. So I'm telling my wife, I gotta get out of here. She said, well, I said, it's getting dark, we gotta go. I'm on Pacific Avenue, we walking down. I said, hey. She said, what? I said, it's time. Let's go. I said, what? She said, it's about to go down over there. I told her, I said, listen, I said, man, I'm seeing all these people. I'm like, mark after mark. I said, listen, we gotta get out of here. She said, why? I said, man, it's getting dark and it's about to go down. I know my time. I said, I gotta go. Everybody say anywhere. But back. Listen, it says, look at everybody see where it says, you will be surprised. Everybody see that? Yep. You will be surprised at how many people don't move forward in life because of how they see themselves. You have to see yourself free from being in bondage. See yourself more than a conqueror. See yourself as the parent that you always wanted. See yourself free from coming back here, or just see yourself doing something productive in your community. See yourself being responsible. See yourself being the children your parents raised you to be. See yourself as a better person. Close your eyes and see yourself doing it. I'm telling you, when you visualize, you might think this is some trick or some magic. I'm telling you, you can visualize your success in life no matter what it is. You can visualize success. The only reason you actually should come back here is to encourage other people and let them know that they can make it because you did. You should come back here and let other individuals know, because ultimately a lot of people are dying today. And like I said, I work for Cumberland County. I can't even express to you that when Cumberland County called me and talking about we got one, did you want to come be a counselor? First thing, I said I didn't even apply. First of all, how you offering me a job that I ain't put an app in for? They said somebody else told us that you would be good at this, that, and the third. That's why I'm telling y'all, once you start to do right, people will see it. And people will give you this thing that every last one of y'all will need when you leave out of here. And this is called opportunity. Every last one of y'all are going to need someone to give you opportunity. When you get the opportunity, cherish the opportunity. Somebody is going to give you a break. Somebody is going to say they're going to trust you again. Somebody is going to hire you again. Somebody is going to get in a relationship with you again. But no matter what happened in your past, the next place or the next stage that you get to, you have to cherish it. Let's see. Look at the things we see now are here today, going tomorrow. But the things we can't see now will last forever. Is a person from Atlantic City. Her name is Miss Shalanda Austin. And she has a book, and the title of the book is Say It Until You See It. Remember how I used to tell my wife? I used to tell her I won't always be on drugs. Say it until you see it. If you have a vision of something, speak about it. Tell people about it. You might look like a fool, but it's okay. At the end, they're going to scratch their head. It's still to this day. I remember my wife and I, we was going to our church that we go to, and one of the older people in there said, "Did you know that we actually threw you away?" I said, "What?" I thought you was in the church. But anyway, they actually said, "We gave up on you." I said, "Wow." But today, the same individual that said that said, "Mike, do you mind coming and doing the prayer for us?" I said, "Ain't that something?" But that's how, when you change, it'll change. When you change, it'll change. The same people who gave up on me is now asking, and I'm willingly going to do it, but it's awesome to be able to show people after you get an opportunity, you can be a different individual. Everybody say anywhere. Anywhere. But back. Let's look at, as long, somebody read that. Y'all see where it says, as long as you keep staring? Anybody who want to read?
As long as you keep
Go ahead.
As long as you keep staring and staring at the obvious, you'll never be able to see the forest for the trees. Always live off of your vision and never live off of your sight. Your sight shows you what's now, but your vision shows you what's to come. Right now, your sight shows you that the current situation is what your current situation really is. It is true. But your vision shows you where you could be, and that's also true. Don't waste time on small dreams. Dream big. It's nothing wrong with small dreams, but if it's your dream, then why not dream big? Always visualize perfect.
Thank you. What's your name? Thank you very much, my man. Listen, he says your situation right now shows you your situation is true. You're actually in this house, rehabilitation, whatever they call it, right? But your vision is also true. But the thing is, what do you have? If you've never had anything in your vision after today, I challenge all of y'all. Write something, put anything. Man, think big. Think so far, man. You be like, man, that can't. When it come to fruition, you be like, man, it's like a dream. Sometimes I think about all the stuff that I did to my wife and all the stuff that we went through, and then when I get to the situation, sometimes we get home from work and I sit there, I cry. Because I thought about it, but I thought it would never happen. But the number one answer or the number one key to it was me changing. It wasn't nothing wrong with her. Well, she was a little messed up. But I'm just saying, it wasn't all me. She had anger issues. She always wanted to fight. Lord help her. I remember one time we was riding in the car. Yeah, whatever. I'm telling you. We riding in the Navigator, drive. She drive. Y'all know the Snapple bottles? Y'all know how hard they are? You know what I'm talking about? So I'm sitting over there. So she driving. I'm talking slick. Got me a couple of dollars. I'm like, man, whatever, man. Oh, I'm rolling right now. This is the day. You know the day when you rolling. I got a little come up. I'm talking slick. Man, whatever, man. Give me another broad. I'm talking. Snapple. So she over there like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, man. She like, boom! Yo, all the glass bust. I'm like, yo, this is glass. What are you doing? She busted. I was like, I bet you shut up. I said, what in the world? You gonna kill me? She was like, you ain't talking no more. Terrible, little something. Terrible, feisty. But we all had issues. Hers was that. Hers was anger, liking the fight and all that. Mine was substance and mine was criminal lifestyle. Why are we sharing it? Why people like, why do y'all tell y'all most nastiest situations? Because we want you to have hope. You might have destroyed a relationship that you honestly loved. And you might have tore it up, and you can admit, I tore that thing up. I'm telling you, it's possible if you focus on you, that relationship can be repaired. But the thing that we did is I focused on doing what I needed to do, She focused on doing what she needed to do to heal. But the most important thing was me. So if you have relationships and you know that you tore it up, I'm telling you it's possible that it can be repaired. But you gotta make some minor adjustments. You have to make the changes. Let's move. One powerful way says, what do you see down the bottom to say, who do you want to be? It's not in there, but I'm about to tell you something. Visualize success. One powerful way to discover your strength is to visualize success. To visualize is to create a vivid picture in your mind's eye. When you visualize, you see yourself doing something that's important to you. That's not in your paper, but that's what I'm saying. Prayerfully, we'll be able to come through because each week we go through a different topic. We come in and we start from the beginning. I'll start all over. And at the end of the 8 weeks, y'all have a graduation. We have what my wife calls, what's the music you play when graduation? You know how you come down when you graduate, they play that music. So that's what we try to do and restore your feeling of accomplishment. You come down, you know, you get your certificate. She played the music for the graduation, and, you know. I'm telling you, man, that's what we want to do. We want you to feel that thing back like it's nothing like it. Because I'm telling you, this high that I'm on, I don't never want to come down. You all can experience it. Everybody say anywhere. Anywhere. But backwards. Let me tell you where I got that from. I actually got it from, I was in a program, like I said, I was in Wilmington, Delaware, Salvation Army, and I was in one of their rooms, and I picked up a Bible. And I picked the Bible up, and I'm telling you, I was not a person that read the Bible or nothing. I happened to pick it up, and it was the scripture, and it said Jeremiah 7:24. And it says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me, but they kept following the counsel of their own hearts, and they kept going backwards instead of forward. And I said, golly, how did I pick this up and see something like that? It says they did not listen to me. They kept listening to themselves, and when they kept listening to themselves, they kept going backwards instead of forward. Everybody say anywhere. Amen. But backwards. If you do not get anything out of what I'm telling you, what my wife and I are telling you today, I need you to remember this. Everybody say anywhere. Amen. But backwards. No matter what comes your way. If you face a situation where your relationship doesn't get restored, if your children turn their back on you, if you face struggling to get a job, if you want to go back to school and you can't do it, whatever happens, you have to remember one thing. Don't go back. No matter what happens, every day of my life, I leave out my house and I say, no matter what happens today, I can't go backwards. Before we leave, if anybody want one, we have bracelets. They say anywhere but backwards. If y'all, whoever will want one, I will give y'all a bracelet. But listen, whatever you need to do, whatever situation y'all face, I'm telling y'all guys, I'm pouring everything that I'm telling you. I'm telling you everything that I live. The only thing you need to get, I'm not telling you when you leave out here, it's going to be rose petals. They're going to throw it down like, yeah, oh, you clean now, come on. That's not going to happen. Because when I got out of rehab, I actually couldn't get a job. Check this out. I went to the same church that said they was a person said they was giving up on me, and I asked the pastor of the church, could I clean the church? You know what he gave me? An opportunity. I cleaned the church for 2.5 months without a paycheck. And people said, how in the world is your wife letting you come home all that time without a paycheck? And I said, she's considering that at least I ain't stealing her money. She said, that's a paycheck. She said, as long as he ain't stealing my money, he can come home broke all day long. So she considered that it was still income in the house. But why am I telling you that? Because even though I didn't have a job for 2.5 months, I still didn't go use. That's right. It's been hard to get some drugs broke anyway. But anyway, I'm telling y'all that is because when you leave and you face difficult, high-risk situations, Don't panic. I need you. If you don't never remember me, that's when I want you to remember. Man, I remember that man. Listen, he said, don't go back. No matter what you face, don't go back. Look.
All right. Yeah, next paper.
Endurance.
Unit 4, part 1. It says you must have endurance. Now, how many people in here think they got endurance? Not everybody raise their hands. Guess what? You all have endurance. Everybody here has endurance. And let me tell you, let me share this story with you. My husband would get high, he run. He missing for a couple weeks, come back. Now he's going through withdrawal. And I would watch him, shaking, sweating, sick. Just go through that, right? Then when he get clean, I'm like, who want to go through that again? Know what he do? Got arrested and went and did it all over again. He endured all of that pain to go do it again. And I never understood that. I'm like, why would you make it that far? You went through the hard part. Now you don't have to go through that part. Why would you go do it again? But he endured that to go do it again. That's why I said we all have it. It's just how you're using it. When you leave here, you're going to have to endure some things. And if you can endure something like that, you can endure not having a job or people talking about you or doubting you or this person don't want you in their house anymore. You know, I married my husband in rehab. My mom said he couldn't come to her funeral.
I'm like, you gonna be dead. How you gonna know that?
Yeah. But she wasn't talking to him and she stopped talking to me.
Yeah.
But you can't tell my mom today that that's not her child. But we just had to endure some things. We didn't just give up because it got hard. You know, if you can't get that next hit and you don't know where the money comes, you keep trying and looking and searching until you find a way to get it. That's the same way you got to do for this thing. All right? You must have endurance. Everybody say, I must have endurance.
I must have endurance.
To go anywhere but backwards.
To go anywhere but backwards.
Because you already got it. But you need to use it for the good. Rising to a challenge reveals hidden abilities within you that otherwise you would have remained dormant. We all know you got hidden abilities. My husband, with a torn Achilles in a boot, used to
Don't talk about that.
climb on top of our roof. We had Cape Cod, the roof was slanted. He would climb up there and lay outside the bedroom door, the window, and talk to me through the door as if he lay in bed with me and telling me all these hopes and dreams. And did not slide off. If that's not a hidden talent. Okay? So we all got some hidden talents.
I used to be telling her, yo, listen, I'm gonna take you around the world.
Like the house.
Buy
And I'm
you a
like,
house.
did you roll off the thing already?
You got the house?
Yeah, we did. Thank God. Wise people like you and I have always understood the connection between suffering and growth. When there is something great inside of a man or woman, there will be obstacles in their path that are designed to stimulate their minds, harden their natures, and improve whatever they may be incompetent. All the great people like you and I must have endurance. When you're enduring some things, that's when you find out how great you really are. The problem is, what we do, because it's hard, we start looking at ourselves like, oh man, I can't do this, or I can't read, or I'll never have a job, or I'll never this, or this is always going to be like that. Flip it. It's molding you.
Yeah, the obstacles in your path, they are designed to stimulate you. The things you face, if you notice certain things you will face repeatedly, you're like, why I keep facing this same situation? It's because it's trying to stimulate something in you, to develop something in you, and you probably just processing it wrong. The reason why it's happening is not always it might be a bad situation at the time, but the reason why it keeps happening is because you got to get the lesson out of it. Once you get the lesson out of it, it goes away. But you got to realize that this situation is stimulating you. I don't know why. I can't pinpoint and tell you why that happened to you. All I know that you need to start rethinking the way the situation, instead of saying, man, why this happened, say, what can I learn? what can I learn from it? And most of the stuff you learn is going to be something that'll change your life.
The word endurance means the ability or strength to continue or last, especially despite fatigue, stress, or other adverse conditions. So you guys just was born yesterday and ended up here today. So between your day and your birth to this point, you guys have the ability and strength to last. Despite fatigues, I know sometimes you've been tired or stressed or adverse situations, right? You didn't just wake up here. You went through some things and you got here. So you endured. So now we're just trying to show you that you have endurance in you, but we want you to endure the things for you, for the positive, instead of going out there. You don't even, you know what, matter of fact, when my husband was going through all that stuff, he didn't even consider that endurance.
Nah.
He didn't realize that he was enduring. He was enduring the bad stuff to get the stuff that was making things worse. And he could have did that same thing for the betterment of himself.
Yeah. Because a couple times, my wife didn't, I would go to, well, when we were living in Bristol, I would go back to Atlantic City. That's why I used to be in trouble with him. But anyway, when I used to go home, I would go home there. But anyway, I used to go to Atlantic City, and once I would get out for a few days or whatever, and then going through the process of detoxing myself at home. I remember one time she came home, she went out and I tore up the whole yard. I mean, literally, I was weak, but I tore the trees down, I cleaned the yard up and everything. I just cleaned the whole yard, and I was withdrawn from heroin. And I didn't know, I know now, that I had the tenacity to do something like that under that condition. Now I know when I'm on this side, when I'm faced with situations, I got that same tenacity to say, I don't have to use. I just got to put what I have to put into order to make it. And you got the same thing. Because y'all all endured through the whole life. All of y'all know somebody that did what you did, but they probably dead. Everybody. Everybody can think of somebody and be like, ah, that's my man, he's gone. Why you last? Definitely ain't last to go back and then die. You last for something.
Who or what stimulates your mind? And let me tell you this question. So, in his own power, my husband, one time, he made it to like a year. He was going every month and getting those little keychain things he would get. So he made it to like a year. Then all of a sudden, I started noticing the change. Sure enough, after that year, he went back. But I remember us talking, and one of the things he was doing was he would sit back and start thinking, man, I ain't thinking about getting high. Huh? He would literally think, like wake up, do what he's doing, going to work, making good money, and I ain't thinking about getting high today. So then he would start meditating and thinking about, well, why am I not thinking about getting high?
I'm not thinking about drugs.
And then, know what that did? Made him think about drugs. So that's why we have this question, who or what stimulates your mind? Because a thought like that stimulated him to just go right back to doing what he had removed from for a year.
And that's why these questions in here, everybody will have something different. Don't just ball that paper. You can, it's on you. I'm telling you, because I'm telling you. Keep the questions is in on this paper is for you. All of y'all gonna have different stuff. You need to find out what's stimulating your mind. The questions in here is for you to learn. So you might write it down, keep the paper somewhere later, and come back 2 weeks later, and what stimulated your mind changed. Mm-hmm. You have to, this is, I didn't do it for just, I got it. I put it in here for you. I got it. I made the change. I know I got it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna ride this high out. But I want y'all to take it as serious as I did, and the only way that I can improve the point of your success or what your success will be is keep continuing to live. Continuing to live in the same society out here. But if you don't find out what's stimulating your mind, everybody has something on their mind 24/7. Everybody.
You have to pay attention to what you're thinking about. Even me, if I get stressed out and the wrong person come at that point, if I don't redirect the way I'm thinking, that person could get it. That was my problem. I'm serious. Like that's something for me that I have to constantly meditate on good things. I have to redirect myself. Sometimes my husband has to redirect me because that was my struggle. Things that happened to me, and I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't cuss, I didn't really sometimes. But those weren't my issues. My issue was because I wasn't in control of what had happened to me. Now, if you did anything to me, if you said the wrong thing, if you hurt anything I love, you crossed me wrong, we had to fight. And it was either you're gonna fight me, you're gonna fight me in this gun, you're gonna fight me in this back, you're gonna fight me in my car. Whatever I had to use to get you, that was my way of controlling.
Yeah, I was shocked when I found out she got locked over the gun. But anyway, listen.
No, but I was just saying, like, we all have issues. That's why this program, Minor Adjustments, is not just for people with drug and alcohol. I have to use these things. It's for anybody can use it because just because people think drug and alcohol, it's more noticeable, right? You don't see the person with the gambling habit or the person that go home and beat his mom. Not just his wife, but he beat his mom. Or, you know what I mean? Or the ones that are abusing kids. Or it's not something that you can see outward. When somebody high or drunk, you can see that. So that's why people like to judge it. But no, we don't do that.
Everybody has
overeating, whatever.
I have a question. So you weren't really offering anything. You were just sharing your story and giving us motivation. But you weren't saying that you have something that you graduate. I want to know more about that because I haven't. Can you elaborate more about that?
On the graduation?
That's the program we do.
I want to find out about that. I'm leaving Monday.
I'll not give you my card.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll give whoever want my card. Yeah, I got you. But go ahead, Dave.
I was thinking there's questions on here. What have you had to endure through? Where has your greatest challenge come from?
Anybody.
If you're leaving, like you said, you're leaving soon, these are things that before you leave here, I will write this down.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Then if any of y'all leaving, get my card and I'll make sure I connect with y'all.
And be honest with yourself. You don't have to share this with anybody.
Yes.
But be honest with yourself because I guarantee you, if you write this down today and go back in 3 months and ask yourself the same question, it's going to be a different answer than 6 months in a year because you'll see growth. But these are for you. And trust me, it works. I'm living with it. It works. Okay?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Where has your greatest challenge come from? Somebody, come on. Where do you think your greatest challenge came from? Go ahead.
Keep on falling and going through trials and tribulations and keep on making it. That was my hardest thing, like to keep making it to where everybody said I couldn't and then falling again.
Yeah.
My husband do
That's
that.
it. That's in the book too. It says, do you find it difficult to stay focused for a long period of time?
Yeah, that's my problem.
I just told you, he stayed clean for a year and then
Go
went
back.
back.
No year.
And
Back.
you know why? And the part of it, he was so happy, like they said he couldn't do it, so he proved he could.
Yeah.
Then after he proved it to him, I proved you no more. I'm going back to. And let's be honest. You know, it becomes a problem. Like my husband had a problem, but it was a problem that he liked.
Yeah. Prove you wrong.
You know, he liked getting high. Some people, you know, they can't control it. They might not like it anymore, but they have to do it. But he enjoyed it. That was his. Every time I asked him, like, why are you doing this? And then one day he just said, I just like it. But just because you like something does not mean that's who you are. I like the color green, but it's obviously I'm not green, right? So just because you like that thing does not mean that that's who you are. That's something that you like. But sometimes you have to learn how to unlike or get a new taste for something.
Yeah, change the taste buds.
So you have to learn how to replace this thing with something else. Go ahead, sir.
Kind of like saying as far as using He's saying like, I come to think of, when I think about that is like functioning, be able to relate to people. You know, like
When you under the influence.
yeah, like it was just a thing to me, like acceptance. Like I used to be accepted. I used to function. Used to be able to, like talk. You know, like that shit was like easy for me to do when I was high.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I guess I was dealing with something internally that wouldn't come out. That was holding me back. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, I understand what you said, but can I speak like to you right now? You just expressed yourself to the utmost.
Clean.
Clean.
And we heard you real
I
clear.
understood everything you said.
So you can.
And I felt that. Clean. So you don't need that.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah,
That's a start.
you
That's
do.
what you
work on it.
That's why the program is called Minded Too. It's minor stuff you have to change, you know what I mean? But the fact that you acknowledge that, I always tell people all the time, I used to have an insecurity and people didn't know, but I would hide behind my insecurity by using it. That's it. That's why I know what you're saying. Because I would be like, oh, if I got this thing in me, it's going down. But but it was really insecure man. But you probably didn't know, I wouldn't actually tell nobody I'm insecure. How many people going into, I'm an insecure dude, brother. Everybody's on that, you know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, but the thing that I like about y'all who are sharing is when you can't fix nothing you won't address. If you're not willing to say, this is, the question I ask is, what has your greatest challenge been? If you won't address your greatest challenge, it's going to be a long haul, man. You might not verbally want to say it, because sometimes when I speak, people will come after the fact and talk to me about something, and it's cool. But your greatest challenge has to be identified, because you can't fix nothing you won't address. You have to, but the thing about it is, all y'all gonna have different things, or some of y'all might have similar things. But the key we want y'all to get is to focus on that. And that's what you have to do.
It's always the little things. It's never been, in my life, it's never been the big things.
Right.
I never had like real crazy hate in my heart. Hey, I've never been a real bad person. It's just a little stupid thing that throw me off. And that's why I want to learn how to change my life.
And you got it, man. You raise your hand?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I never have just one. It's like, I always like, I can deal with a lot of things. It seems like I'll end up with a pile out of nowhere. Just a bunch of little problems that just, even as I'm fixing them, they pile up. And it just seems like, I don't know, like more than other people, I get these just a boatload at once. Because I look at people who have issues, and even if they express them, it seems like I can even help them.
Mm-hmm.
But then for me, like it'll just end up being a boatload all the time. I mean, I was born high. I was born high on crack and heroin, and I fought through all that. And I was successful. I had an addiction issue when I was in my 20s, early 20s, and then was clean for 15 years. Nothing. Had a career, family, house, cars, lost it all. Went to jail, everything. But it was just like, I need somebody to tell me how to deal with both of those. How to next level problems kind of thing. I don't know if I'm saying.
I know, no, you are. But if you try to eat it all at once, like I said, a lot of times substance abuse was one of my issues. I had a whole bunch of other issues, but I focused on, like you saying, they all was there, but I couldn't take care of all of them at once. You know what I mean? It's no way to try to do. It's like, bit at a time. You gotta take a bit at a time. And when they come, just remember, no matter how chaotic it comes, your only task Remember, no, I'm telling you, I'm not telling you it's gonna be an easy route. I'm saying whatever gonna come to try to get you back to that, it's coming. But whatever don't use, it seems like it's that easy when it really is. I just don't pick up because it's not gonna make you at all.
Right, and life comes with
Wow.
issues. Life comes with every day is something.
Every day.
You know, and that's how I think things attack me as well. Like this one thing, I brush that off. Like, oh yeah, you know, maybe these two things. Okay, I handle this. I'll take care of that tomorrow. I'm good. But when things happen to me, they come from all my kids, the job, like my mom, like friends got like everything comes at one time, and I'm like, oh my God, that's when I have to shut everything out, and I gotta focus on me. You
I think
can't.
that's it right there. I just never figured out how to just.
You gotta
focus
shut
on
it
me.
off and focus on what's best for you. Because if you go back, all those things are still there.
I still don't know how to do it. Like my
You have
biggest
to
challenge
learn
is
it.
to turn off. How to just shut off and think yourself.
It's challenging, and I get you
Like the
because
biggest one.
Huh?
That seems like the biggest challenge right there. Like how do you, because
It's
for me,
just-
it's stopping caring altogether.
Nah, it's not that because you gotta be. I was actually, like I told you, my wife and I, when I had all these problems, I was selfish. I had to become selfish and still care about everything in it. Like I got kids. I had to shut everybody. I can't help you anyway if I go back to using. So I had to block everybody out. Me, my counselor, my sponsor. I just need to help because if once I got right. One of the greatest things I had thought about because I didn't have a good relationship with my 5 children, and I remember we made up this thing that had video FaceTime with all 5 of them. It made my day to be on there with all the kids. But if I didn't take care of me, none of that would be possible. So you have to be selfish right now. You know what I mean? All the stuff that you got going on, and I know they're real situations, but you just gotta prioritize. I teach people at my job. As a peer recovery coach, when I'm helping them, I make them prioritize what's the most important thing to you right now. You got a list. They got a list of things. I need you to put them in order. What is it? I need a job. I need a house. I need this and that. We need to put them in front. We can't do them all at once. So when I make them make the list, I say I need you to put them in order of priority. And they say a job. That's possibly good. That's good. Because when you put that in order, if you're already walking in your sobriety and everything, now you want to get a job, then you want an apartment, but you have to do the same thing. You got to prioritize them.
And your sobriety
Yeah,
is number
it's
one.
nothing.
Everything else, number one. Because if you go all that stuff,
Don't
it's
matter
not here
anyway.
anyway.
Anybody else? Everybody say to attain my sobriety is easy. To attain my sobriety is easy. My challenge is to maintain. And the reason why I say that is because to attain something means to come into the possession of it. To maintain something means to keep it in existence. Right now, you already came into the possession of your sobriety. Don't try to go get that again. You don't need it. You already got it. Everything you need to do now is develop relapse prevention skills, coping skills, being honest, being humble, listening to the people you have over you, even though you might be like, I know more than you. I remember my client told me that. He said, Mike, I know all that recovery stuff. And I said, I know you do. I need you to apply it. He thought he was talking slick. I said, I know you know it all. Well, I want you to apply it, and then you'll never come back and see me again. The key is to apply it. You might know it. That's great. That's a beautiful thing. I honestly know you know it. Because you did it so many times. I know you know it. I want you to apply what you know. If you apply what you know, your life will never be the same. Everybody say anywhere. Anywhere. But back. Hey, man, I really appreciate you guys, man. And like always, man, I'm a faith guy, man. So my wife and I will always be praying for y'all. Anybody who would like a bracelet when we done or a card or whatever, Just listen, man. Y'all in this facility. This is the stage of development. Everything you need to do to develop while you're here. If you're around individuals, listen to me, and they are not focused on doing what you need to do, I don't care what name they call you, you need to get out that circle. Let them do them and tell them, listen, brother, I appreciate you. I don't have nothing against you. But I need people in my group that's going in the same direction. If they want to do all the stuff that the program say y'all are not supposed to do, I'm telling you, they are the individuals who are passing you another bag of heroin. Go get out. And again, whatever name they want to call me, they can call me whatever they want. But for this day, August 19, you can call Michael 12 years clean. Thank you.